States right now. It is 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the West, 7 p.m. in Iraq. Today is Friday, March 21st, the second day of the strike on Iraq. The push to Baghdad is in full swing this morning as the U.S. Army moves toward the Iraqi capital. We'll be sharing some of that video with you all morning long. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Paula Zahn in New York. Joining me this hour, Bill Hemmer on duty in Kuwait City, Judy Woodruff in Washington, Leon Harris in Atlanta, who will get things started now with look at what is happening at this hour. Leon?
All right, Paula, here's what we have at this hour. U.S. Army forces charged their way through the desert toward Baghdad at 3 7th Cavalry as the advanced scout rolling ahead of infantry divisions. Iraq fired a missile at the unit as it crossed the border, but it landed a few miles away. Otherwise, troops have met with little resistance on their way. All is eerily quiet in Baghdad at this hour. You see here live pictures we have of downtown Baghdad. However, this capital city has been the target of intense bombardment in recent hours. More than 60 cruise missiles have rained down on Baghdad since the start of the military operation late Wednesday. We'll keep our eye on that skyline tonight. Now, more Iraqi soldiers give up the fight. About 30 surrendered to British forces in Qasr, according to a British military spokesman. Another 250 or so turned themselves in to U.S. Marines. Those Marines took on that duty, but they also have the duty this morning of dealing with the casualties of war. They lose one of their own. A U.S. Marine was killed during a raid in southern Iraq. That is the first U.S. combat death confirmed since the start of this military campaign. In Kuwait, 8 British and 4 U.S. troops died in the crash of a Marine CH-46 helicopter. That incident is believed to have been an accident. Meanwhile, a U.S. military official says that allies have seized a number of oil fields and 2 strategic airfields. We'll have more on that for you later on. Now, here's what we have as well coming in. Retreating Iraqi soldiers have set fire to as many as 30 different oil wells in southern Iraq. Now, we're hearing this from the British Defense Secretary. However, the Secretary also says that most of the oil infrastructure in the area has been secured and it is intact. And the plan for U.S. warplanes to use Turkish airspace, well, that plan hit a snag. Turkey's parliament has approved the overflights, but they say they'll do it only if Turkish troops are allowed to go into northern Iraq, which is a big problem. The U.S. opposes that, as well as the Kurds who live in that area. All-night negotiations failed to settle that dispute.